This day, 1996. Do you know what happened?
I do.
You remember what happened?
I do.
Felix Potvin versus Ron Hextall down in Philly. A brawl. You never see brawls like this because it was like a line brawl. And then Hextall came flying down because Potvin was getting kind of involved in the scrum. Look at Hextall. Hextall is flying down. And he's ready to rock. He's not going down and having a conversation.
No. Well, Potvin.
This is a great tell.
But let it play out. This is what bothers me is people are like, oh, Potvin killed him.
Crushing him.
Kill him?
Crushing him.
Great fight. Great fight. And then Hexie gets the better of him at the end, but nobody talks about that. Like it's just, oh, yeah.
He got jerseyed. He's getting jerseyed and popped. And now he's getting taken left.
So what? Look at Hexie starts to get the better of him right at the end.
He doesn't even hit him. He's hitting him in the shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Listen, this is fandom because he's cut. I'm telling you, it was a good fight.
He was cut.
Felix is tougher than he deserved, but no, Felix did not win that fight.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
Watch this, Noodles. It's not even close.
I watched it 100 times.
Seatbelting. He's in his seatbelt.
He killed him.
The seatbelt in the end.
That's a unanimous decision.
That is unanimous.
No, not unanimous. That's even what the fight.
I would say
website said they won.
I was going to say the biggest Flyer fan around would say, "Hey, I'll concede that."
Better. Well, the other part of that story is like Felix broke his stick over Daniel Lacroix.
Oh, was that what started the whole thing?
And that's what Hextall says caused him to skate down there.
As he should.
I will say this:
good
good for Felix because I didn't know he had it in him because he never played like that once in his career. And Hexie was a guy who was a tough guy, like literally could fight.
Well,
so
that was as the Toronto writers pointed out at the time. I was looking back at some of the stories, like Frank Orr from the Toronto Star. He basically said, kind of laughed at the idea that Hextall was offended that a goaltender had slashed somebody.
Right,
Hextall,
exactly. Like the irony of that. Like, excuse me, you're
Ray used to say that Hexie was their tough guy in junior, legitimately.
Oh,
so, anyways, it was a great fight. I'm jesting, but like, my biggest surprise about that was it's Felix. Like for some reason, I was like, if that was, I don't know, I don't think Eddie Belfour fought, but Eddie kind of had that, like, he ran hot, right? Like, whereas I didn't think Felix ran hot. He just seemed like a very temperamental, very even-keeled, like, goaltender.
Maybe Hexie was skating down there thinking, I'm going to kill this little guy.
That's probably
not little, though. That's the thing. Felix is a big dude, isn't he?
He's smaller than Hextall, isn't he?
Hextall's a big guy.
Yeah.
He was tall, Hextall.
Hexie was tall and thin, and I thought Felix, like, even meeting him, I've met him several times. Like, Felix would be, what, 6'2", 6'3"?
I don't. I guess so. I don't know. I mean, we can look that up. We can.
I think they're close.
Hextall would definitely be bigger, but it's undoubtedly Potvin laid a beating on him that night, and that's one you just can't get back. I mean, that's what was shocking though, because it was Hextall. Like if that was any other goalie, you wouldn't think twice. But Hextall had the reputation of being a guy that clearly could take care of himself.
Oh yeah.
Could fight, would snap, would lose it, and Potvin had no reputation whatsoever. That he was
hadn't fought since junior apparently,
and he wasn't obviously looking for the fight. I don't think he was
that's
anticipating Hextall was coming down the ice, but
that's emotion going at it. Like that's just.
Do you ever have somebody come skating down at you, Noodles?
Yeah, I skated down once. You can actually look it up on YouTube. I had warned Jerome about this. Jerome had this like little kind of rivalry going with Tomas Vokoun. And Jerome had run him over in Nashville. And Vokoun was pissed off about it. And I remember saying to him before the game, like, this guy's not going to forget. And sure enough, at the end of the game, I don't know what Vokoun's doing. He's out by the face-off dot, and Iggy runs him over. And he goes flying into the corner. And Vokoun gets up swinging, and all hell breaks loose. And I just took off. So I was like, okay, I got to get down there. So I got down there. And just before I got into the scrum, Iggy reached out of the scrum and popped Vokoun in the head and dropped him. So as I get there, I jump on top of Vokoun. So it makes it look like I did something. I did nothing. Like I jumped on top of him and we wrestled a little bit and was trying to get at him. But the crowd went crazy. Like it was pretty funny because
was it in Calgary or was it in Nashville?
In Calgary.
Oh, that's
in
even
Calgary.
Better. That's way better. Way better.
I went 200 feet, and that's the fastest I've ever skated in my career. Like I remember seeing that go down, and I was like, I got to get in there because this is 6-on-5. So I took off, and a linesman tried to stop me around the blue line, and I went right around him and went flying down into the corner and jumped on him. Like
Oh, there it is.
Joe
we
from the
go.
Bridge just got it. Like
There it is. Oh, yeah, here comes Vokoun.
So watch, like I end up now. Watch this. Iggy pops him right at the last second.
Right here. Boom,
right
and
there,
he drops.
down, and then you see me go
Noodles
flying
is
in there,
flying in.
and
It's
I
a bad
kind of
video.
like.
Oh, there
Yeah,
he is.
There you are.
See, it makes it look like I was a part of it. Like all I
That's
did
great.
was jump on top of him because Vokoun, the Iggy had